Start. Okay. Hi, everybody. This is Dr. George Ochiri. I am the CEO of Harambee Sacco. I want to take this opportunity to thank all of you for joining this webinar. This is our first one, and we will have a number of them so that we keep our members updated. I also want to inform us that click on the subscribe button below. Join Harambee Sacco YouTube. This will allow us to share with you notifications in the future. Now, today, I want to first of all thank the members for having confidence in Harambee. This has led to fairly good performance in the year 2023. We were all happy, just like you members were also happy with us. And crossing over now to 2024, we want to have a big activity, and this is about shares drive. And allow me to explain the genesis of shares drive, or what is share capital. Share capital is equity, that is, you buy into the shareholding of Harambee Sacco. Before this drive we are talking about, each member of Harambee Sacco is expected to be having a share capital worth 30,000. We call it statutory minimum share capital. So most members have already achieved the same. Others are also still contributing and will be compliant. Now, share capital drive, the one we are conducting, is slightly different. While it will be adding onto your share capital of 30,000, this one we are voluntarily inviting members to invest in Harambee Sacco shares. Just like you'd invest in a matatu, or you'd invest in property like rental, or like in farming. Here we are encouraging members that yes, Harambee Sacco is also an investment decision. And we have consulted, we have done our mathematics, and we are confident we want to give a guarantee of at least 15% dividend return for the next 5 years. This is a commitment we have made even to the regulator, that as we ask members to increase their shares, we are going to give them at least 15% as their reward. Now, why are we conducting this share capital drive? Number one, our loan book has grown drastically. We are talking of 30 billion Kenya shillings, coming from a mere 15 billion Kenya shillings in the year 2018. That is an increase of 15 billion shillings in 5 years. Unfortunately, our deposits has grown from 18 billion to 24 billion. That is an increase of only 6 billion Kenya shillings. That means there is a mismatch. Where is this additional cash or money that we are lending coming from? And that is the quagmire. We now had to go to external funding. So by close of last year, 2023, we had an external loan of 3 billion Kenya shillings. And everybody knows it at the moment that external loans, especially from commercial banks, are very expensive. For that reason, we want members to invest in Harambee, and we simply do away with external funding. We operate from our own finances. It is possible, it is doable, because if we can mobilize 40 million shares of 100 Kenya shillings each, that will raise 4 billion Kenya shillings. Now, if we raise 4 billion Kenya shillings, we'll be able to pay off the bank loan, and we will still have a balance to do business with. So the first reason is to do away with bank loan, and currently, like everybody knows, the interest rates have gone to 20%, 22%. It is not viable, because here at Harambee we are lending as low as 12%. The most expensive loan is 14%. So there is no way we can have a loan of 20% and we are lending out at 14%. For this reason, we want to appeal to our members. Let's invest in Harambee, we mobilize funds, then we operate with our own funds. Then as this goes on, I want to announce to the participants in the seminar that we shall have questions and answer session at the end. So if you are having questions, there's no problem. We will be able to answer them. But in the meantime, you can also send your questions on our chat section. We will be taking them up, and then we will answer them towards the end of this session. Now, the other reason why we have opted to mobilize funds through share capital at Harambee is compliance. Our total assets has reached 40 billion. Now 40 billion, our share capital currently stands at 2.4 billion. The regulator wants us to have at least share capital of 8% of the total assets. So you can already see there is a gap between our current total share capital and the share capital that we should be having. We have grown very fast in the recent past, and this has brought us this opportunity here. Then reason number 3 why we want, once again, our members to invest in the share capital drive is we want to do more business with our members. Unfortunately, our own members are doing more business with the banks, commercial banks out there, than they are doing with our own Sacco. Every month, we have members selling our loans to the bank. Why? Most of the reason is a repayment period, because our maximum repayment period is 96. If we are successful in this shares drive, we should be able also to have long-term loans that could probably go up to 120 months. In this case, or in this way, members can access more money from the Sacco comparable to what now the banks are offering. I also want to remind us that, remember, you should be subscribing. Just click the button below there, then you'll join Harambee Sacco YouTube. In this way, we will be able to share with you our future communications. Now, coming back to our agenda of the share capital drive, one of the concerns is what is the benefit to the Sacco? I think I've summarized it. 1, doing away with external loaning or loans. Number 2, we comply. We want to comply with the requirements of the regulator. And then number 3, we want to have more liquidity, more cash to lend out in a longer term loans than the ones we are currently having. Now, previously, I have been asked that we are selling shares, Sacco shares, or we want to sell Sacco shares to members. What is the benefit to a member? What is the benefit to a member? So number 1, we are giving a guarantee, a return on your investment of at least 15%. If you recall, for end of 2023, we were able to pay dividend on share capital of 12%. And if we retire the bank loan that we are having, we should be able to save 540 million. In fact, it's very unfortunate, if I'm to tell the story. We are 79,000 members. Total dividend that we shared was only 283 million. Unfortunately, one stakeholder who has extended a loan facility to Harambee Sacco was able to earn 540 million without having a single share at Harambee. Just signing instrument, 540 million, it goes to one stakeholder called a lender out there. We want this 540 to come to the members. How? In the form of dividend. And that is why we are so confident, and we are giving a promise of at least 15% for the share capital that we are going to invest. Now, the other question that comes up frequently is who is eligible? Who can participate in this share capital drive? It is only members of Harambee Sacco. So this will be open to members of Harambee Sacco, and a member is somebody who is already having share capital. A member is somebody who has already been registered and is having a membership number, and is also making contribution towards deposits. And some active members, they are also now having loans. What about someone out there who is interested in participating? Well, till you become a member, you are not eligible to participate. So membership terms, I'll be able to share with us in a short while what is required to be a member. The other bit I wanted to explain is how much can one acquire? As you've heard me mention, we are floating 40 million shares. Each share of Harambee is 100 shillings. Now, the law gives a capping. No one member will hold more than 1/5 of the shares of Harambee, or of any Sacco, or of any cooperative society in Kenya. So it means any member can buy as much as they wish, because it is very rare that one member will be able to acquire 1/5 of the total shareholding of Harambee, because at the moment alone, total share capital is at 2.4 billion. That means 1/5 is around 500 million. It would be very rare that we would have a case of one member buying 500 million worth of shares. So if the 79,000 of us subscribed, each member would have bought an average of 50 shares worth 50,000. That is 500 shares at 100 shillings. That is 50,000 shillings. However, we will make it open. You buy what you can manage, but buy more. We are quite privileged. Since we started the campaign, we have seen some members buying as high as 1.5 million. That is the highest we have registered in the recent past. But some members who seemed to have been aware that one day Harambee Sacco would come back and would be profitable once again. There is a member who has bought and is having a shareholding of over 10 million. So like when you were paying rebates, we were paying dividend for end of 2023, we were paying him at 12%, we were paying him over 1.3 million. When he added with this interest on deposit, this one member earned 1.8 million Kenya shillings from Harambee. Now, I just want to remind us again, you subscribe to our YouTube. It's called Harambee Sacco YouTube. This is important for future notifications. Also want to make it mention that we are going to be having questions and answer session at the end. So prepare your questions. We'll be able to answer all of them. Let me come back to our discussion of how much one can buy. And I've already said the 79,000 of us, if we were to equally divide the 40 million amongst ourselves, then each person would have bought 500 shares worth 50,000. However, one can buy as much as they are intending to invest, and we want to encourage us to invest more. We have done a comparison. If one was to invest in Harambee Sacco shares and another one was to invest in a rental house, it is very clear one investing in Harambee Sacco share capital is much better off. First, you are guaranteed your 15%. There is no repair, there is no housekeeper, there is no rent default, there is no occupancy ratio. You are guaranteed that at the end of the year, you have at least your 15% in form of a return. We did a comparison of the same with what the blue chip companies paid last year. And what we found is this cooperative bank, which paid the highest at 12.5, dividend of 12.5 in the year 2023. All the others paid below 12.5. So if here at Harambee, we are informing members and giving them a chance, invest and we give you a return of 15% guaranteed for the next 5 years, we are persuaded that this is a better investment option. Most of us also, we borrow Sacco money, for example, and then you go into farming. We did comparison. You go into tea farming, sugarcane farming, avocado farming, and one of the challenges was the turnaround time. There is a waiting period, and then it will take you quite a long period of time to recoup your investment. Here we have done our mathematics. If you invest, say even 100,000, in 7 years, you will have recouped your investment from the 15% that we are guaranteeing. And now, if you buy a matatu, for example, the risks involved, they are too high. Here, there is no risk since we are under a regulator, and whatever we'll be doing is monitored by the regulator. Oh, by the way, I need to mention, for us to conduct this, we had to get a letter of no objection from the regulator. So it's an activity that is closely monitored by the regulator. Once again, I want to mention that there will be questions. I'm seeing already quite a number of questions coming through. Continue putting them. We'll be answering them, and I'm confident today we should be able to have a better interaction with our members. Now, the other issue that probably I would like to mention is how do you buy these Sacco shares? We have made it very, very easy, very, very easy. So one, if you go to any of our branches, you can leave a check, you can pay by check, or you can, if you have cash, you can deposit cash, and you will be in a position to buy. The other number two, we have a pay bill. We have a pay bill, and through the pay bill, you are able to wire money into Harambee Sacco, and we buy shares with the same. We also have some members who have already put a direct debit. What is a direct debit? A direct debit is a special standing order that is signed with a bank, and your bank will be directing money to Harambee Sacco. In that way, you are able to also buy the shares. Others have put in standing orders, and we have standing order two types. There is the internal standing order, that is, you have your FOSA account at Harambee, you can put an internal standing order, and in this way you'll be making contributions towards your share capital. We also encourage those who would probably wish to put in standing orders from their bank accounts, that you contact us, we give you the relevant account, and you put a standing order that will be directing funds from your bank to the bank of Harambee Sacco. In that way, you'll be able to participate in buying the Harambee Sacco shares. Now, we also encourage our members. We have got some Sacco loans which we give at a rate as low as 12%. Our development loan is at 12%. Emergency loan is at 12%. School fees loan is at 12%. If you are not very committed and you want to participate, and what you don't have is the cash, I encourage us, take a development loan and invest in the same Harambee, and you earn your 15% at the end of the period. The other method through which one can participate in this share capital drive is through star 357. That is our USSD. Our USSD is star 357, and when you dial that, it will give you a menu And in the menu, you'll go to number 7, you'll find Share Capital Drive. If you select that one, it will give you option of making contribution either from M-Pesa or from your FOSA account. So feel free. In fact, I wish you could even test it now. We go together with *357#. Once again, *357#. Then select, of course, you put your PIN. Then it gives you a menu. Then in the menu, select option 7. Option 7 is Share Capital Drive. Then that takes you to another menu, and it gives you opportunity to select whether you want to participate from M-Pesa or FOSA. I want us to experiment so that you put even just 1,000 or 500 for today for experiment. If you select FOSA, the money will come from your FOSA account. If you have some M-Pesa balance, you select M-Pesa, and then you put your PIN, and it is done. You'll get a message informing you that you have already participated in the Sacco Shares Drive. I know some of us have just joined, so allow me to make a small repeat of what are we doing, what are we talking about. As I said, we are conducting a shares drive. What is a share capital drive? This is mobilization of members to invest in Harambee Sacco equity. And we are saying, just like you can invest in a building, in a matatu, or in farming, let's invest in Harambee Sacco. Harambee Sacco is very viable. We have seen the performance in the last 5 years, and we have seen the improvement, and we are saying there is opportunity for us to invest and make money right within the Sacco. And as I already mentioned, we are giving a guarantee of 15% for the next 5 years. And this is a commitment that we have made under our regulator, and we will be passing or sharing reports of performance of this every periodically, and that should give members the confidence that the return indeed is there for them. I also shared with the team that we started with that we are having an external loan, and in the external loan we are incurring huge financial cost. Last year alone, 2023, we paid a lender 540 million Kenya shillings. It's quite unfortunate. While we paid 540 to a lender, we paid the 79,000 members dividend worth 283 million only. So the question we are asking, why should we not share this 540 amongst our membership? How do we share it? We invest in Harambee, we generate the income, and then we pay ourselves the dividend. In another forum, I was being asked, what guarantee can we give that we will be able to generate that level of return? The answer is a big yes. So first, our loan book is standing at over 30 billion. So 30 billion, already that gives you the comfort that every month we are generating over 300 million in form of interest on our loans. Then number two, we are running FOSAs, and we have got 6 FOSAs across the country. The FOSA accounts, we are having salary accounts and business accounts. So every month again, we're generating close to 200 million when we operate with these FOSAs. So we are guaranteed both interest on loans and non-funded income coming out of the FOSA accounts that we are running. By the way, we have reached 16,000 salary accounts. And in 16,000 salary accounts, We just need to have the system up and running, and we just earn our money. Because we do charge a little money in form of salary processing. Whenever we make any withdrawal, we also generate a little income. So we are guaranteed. Where we are at the moment, Harambee, we are guaranteed of generating enough income to run the Sacco and to share with the members in form of dividend and interest on capital. I'm seeing quite a number of us getting in. I want us to remind us that click on the subscribe button below to join Harambee Sacco YouTube. This is important so that you will be notified of future events. I'm seeing a number of us coming in. I can see Amos Omido, that's one of our delegates. Karibu sana. There is Madam Joyce Marui. Karibu sana, member. I'm seeing Zakayo. Karibu sana. I'm waiting for your questions diligently. I also want to remind us that we will answer questions. We will give answers to the questions that you'll ask towards the end of this webinar. So do not hesitate to raise any question about Harambee and about the share capital drive. Coming back, I was explaining to us why we are conducting shares drive. And as I've said, number one, we want to do away with external borrowing. Then number two, we want to improve on our liquidity. We want to improve on our liquidity so that we can give longer term loans. Currently, the longest loan we are giving is at 96. Some of our competitors, they are giving loans of up to 120. We want to also push the competition to their doors. Then number three, as I already explained, our total share capital currently stands at 2.4 billion. Our total assets, on the other hand, stands at 40 billion. 2.4 billion is less than 8% of 40 billion. For us to comply, we need to be at 8% of the total assets. And remember, total assets keep on increasing. The more we give loans, the more members make contributions, the more we plow back reserves, the total asset keeps on growing. So for those three reasons, we are putting a case and we are saying, let's invest in Harambee. It is a fairly profitable venture. And I also have explained previously how efficient is money at Harambee. I'll use statistics for 2023. 2023, end of the year, our total income was 5.68 billion. We generated 5.68 billion. That particular time, our total assets was standing at 39 billion. So if you divide 5.68 by 39 billion, you'll find that at Harambee, for 2023, for every 100 shillings that was invested, we had a return of about 13 shillings. In fact, more than 13, it should be 14 shillings. With that, we are confident we are generating fairly good income. And going forward, we are targeting 17.5. For every 100 shillings that is invested at Harambee, we are targeting 17.5 shillings. And I've already explained, where is this money coming from? This money is coming from interest on loans that we have lent out. And then number two, this money is coming from the transactional income we generate in our FOSAs. And we encourage our members, wherever you are, pass your salaries through our FOSA accounts. That makes it more profitable for Harambee. So in summary, what are the benefits of buying this? There is improved return on investment, that is to the individual. Then you have got an opportunity to have a permanent investment, which you can only transfer or you can sell to another person when you choose to exit. And number three, you are guaranteed income. In this particular case, we could only get permission to guarantee us for the first 5 years. but Harambee is going to be there forever. It has been there for 52 years, 54 years. We don't see it going away anytime soon. It is there. The other question that I needed to already explain to the members is about exit from this party share capital. What happens in the future when a member wants to exit? We have got two options currently. You can sell it to another member, or you can transfer it. And we are encouraging our members. Let's onboard our children, let's onboard our grandchildren, and when time comes, we are satisfied, we can transfer to them these investments. Remember, the Bible talks of leaving something for your generation. This is a vehicle. This is a vehicle that can also be left for the next generation. Now, before I go on, I want to remind us that click on the subscribe button below. Then you join Harambee Sacco Society YouTube. This is important because we should be able to share with you our future events and even our products and services. Also, I want to remind us that we'll be having a section for questions and answers. In the meantime, whoever is having a question, you can already go to the comment section and you put your question so that we can already summarize the feedback in the next 10 minutes. I just wanted to repeat again why we are in this, and as I said, we don't want to continue operating with bank loans. We want to operate with members' funds. And number two, we are interested in compliance. Number three, we want to improve our liquidity so that we expand our business. We should be able to give longer-term loans. With regards to exiting in the future, now that we are asking members to bring huge investment in form of share capital, we are quite optimistic. There is a bill in Parliament, and in this bill, we were able to table a request that Saccos, now not Harambee only, Saccos across the country, be allowed to buy back the share capital and have it in reserves. So we are very, very hopeful that this year this bill will go through and we should be able to have the Sacco be in a position to buy back. Now, if this happens, it means at the tail end, when a member wants to quit, we will be allowing them, the Sacco itself will be buying those shares. In the meantime, how are we going to handle the exits? The best answer is found in Parliament Sacco. Parliament Sacco, the MPs usually contribute a lot of money when they are in Parliament. However, every 5 years, we go for elections. And luckily in Kenya, 60% of the sitting MPs are usually voted out. And by the time they are voted out, they have already used most of the money that they had accumulated in the 5 years. So their first point of reference is usually the Sacco. So they'll go to the Sacco and they demand their deposits and of course their share capital. So they have gotten it right there. What have they done? At Parliament Sacco, they take a list of whoever is interested in existing. They queue them so that when the new parliamentarians join or come, they are not sold to new shares. They are sold these old shares in the same manner in which the members requested to exit. So also at Harambee, once we are through with this mobilization, it's a 2-year mobilization, the year 2024 and 2025. We are going to create such a platform where any member who wants to dispose of their shares, you simply register, we queue you, then as we onboard new members, we don't sell any new share capital till we exhaust those who want refunds. So in that way, one is not completely tied, where we are saying you must your share capital must remain at Harambee whether you want it or not. No, no, no. You should be able to exit your share capital. I want to acknowledge, I'm seeing Daisy is all the way from Kericho. I'm seeing Polly Carey from Mombasa. Thank you very much also for joining. I'm quite interested. I'm seeing members across. There is also, oh, Kevin, oh, from Nyakach. Oh, somebody is in from all the way from Nyakach. That is interesting. I'm also seeing Dennis Wekesa from Kitale. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Yeah, thanks for joining us. And as you join, we encourage that you subscribe in the button below there to join Harambee Sacco Society YouTube. This will enable us to share with you our future events, products, and services. I also want to inform the participants that we shall have a session for questions and answers in the next 5 minutes. In the meantime, allow me to once again reiterate that we are inviting members to invest in additional shares, share capital. Each member of Harambee currently has about 300 shares worth 30,000 shillings. But here we are saying, let's put more, let's invest more so that Harambee is steady enough to do more business with its members. Now, how do we do this? It's very easy. You can have a standing order from your bank. You can also do an internal standing order from your FOSA account. You can write us a check. If you visit any of our branches, you can actually deposit and you buy share capital in that, from the branch. There is also an easier way. And once again, those who have joined while we were going on, I think we can try it. We have a USSD star 357, and this one is the easiest. If you have some balance in your M-Pesa, or you have something small in your FOSA, you could experiment even with 500 shillings or 1,000 shillings. And it is very easy. You just dial star 357 hash, star 357 hash, and it will ask you for your PIN. So you do your PIN, and after you put in your PIN, it will give you a menu, number 1 to number 8. In the menu, go to number 7. Number 7 is Share Capital Drive. If you click that one, it will give you the option of contributing from your FOSA account or from your M-Pesa balance. You choose either, then choose how much you want to invest. You can experiment with as low as 100 shillings only, because each share of Harambee is 100 shillings. I want you to experiment that, then the money will move from your FOSA or from your M-Pesa, and you will have already started contributing towards this Harambee share capital. I will come back and repeat. In the meantime, I want to start answering questions. The first question is coming from Mr. Victor Kabugi. Mr. Victor Kabugi is asking, is the share capital going to continue paying at 10% year in, year out, or are you going to give us a juicy offer so that we can invest? Yes, Mr. Victor, first of all, last year, end of last year, we paid 12%. We did not pay 10%. We paid dividend at 12%. And you're asking whether will it become better? Yes, we are committing that end of this year and in the next 5 years, we will be paying at least 15%. I'm sure you heard me mention where the money is going to come from. We are currently paying out a bank loan interest of 540 million. This we want to distribute to the members. Then there is Nicholas. Nicholas is asking, kindly differentiate between share capital we buy from the members, and in most cases, we do it locally when a member has exited the Sacco. Yes, the ones that you've been buying, it was the minimum, where most members were having 30 shares worth 30,000. But here we are asking for injection of new money, cash, so that we are able to comply, we are able to buy off the bank loan that we are having here, and at the same time, we are able to do more business. So for the period that we are going to be conducting the shares drive, we are encouraging members that we inject new money. We will be stopping, or rather suspending, the local buying that has been going on from the exiting members. Then number 3 is Rotich Shadrach. Rotich Shadrach is saying Sacco have been deducting 300 monthly for share capital to increase from 20 to 30K. Yes, it is true. From 3 years ago, the Sacco increased the minimum share capital to 30,000 shillings, or to 300 shares. And then when we spread it, we found if we deducted 300 per month, by mid this year, 2024, every member or most members will have complied with the minimum share capital of 30,000. So now what we are saying, add more. Instead of just having the minimum of 30,000, invest. The 30,000 was as a result of requirement that we must have a certain minimum level of share capital. In fact, as an organization, it should be 8% of the total assets of the organization. And as I have mentioned before, our total assets stands at 40 billion. And our share capital is standing at 2.4 billion. We are not compliant in that particular area. Then there is Maggie JB. She's saying, suppose one exits the Sacco, maybe after retirement, will he or she continue getting a dividend of his or her share capital? Thank you very much, Maggie. I did not mention this. The answer is a big yes. This is a permanent investment. You'll get your dividend till you are the one who sells off or transfers your share capital. Currently, as we are speaking, we have members whom we are calling Wafanisi. Who is Wafanisi? Wafanisi is a retired member whom we just changed their department. If, for example, you are in Office of the President and you retire, we just move you from Office of the President to Wafanisi, and you continue being a member. And even for those who have opted out, they have taken their deposits, you will continue enjoying your dividend. And even now, members who have exited and they left, most of them left what was then 20,000 worth of shares, you will be getting your dividend like everybody else. Then there is Stephen Kavita. Why don't you just make it even more better if you start issuing loans of 120 months, then from the loan, deduct a certain cash to go to the share capital? Stephen, I must admit, this is a very brilliant idea. We had not considered it. I'll definitely pick it up and share this with the board. This is definitely a very, very interesting idea. Thank you so much for adding us more suggestions. We will discuss this at the board and we will come back to you. Then there is Julius Geshana. Julius Geshana is asking, how can I be contributing shares since I have retired? Julius, it is open. You are a member. Once you are a member of Harambee Sacco, your membership number remains forever. And I know, even currently, we are having some of your share capital here. So we are going to be sharing with you a pay bill. You can be using pay bill now that you are retired. You may not be going to our branches. But also, on your phone, you can actually use our USSD, *357#, *357#. It will give you options, If you go to the menu, there is a menu number 7. If you click that one, it will allow you to make contribution from either your first account, which I think yours is dormant, so you can do from your M-Pesa, and you make your investment still with Harambee. There is Agre Ndonya. Agre Ndonya is asking, how do I sell my share certificate if I may discontinue? Yes, I have already explained that we will use the example of Parliament Sacco, where we will queue those who want to exit. And after this shares drive, which is a 2-year activity, from the queue, any new member, we will not be selling new shares. They will be buying from the exiting, and this will be coordinated by the Sacco. What was going on where members were informally trading the share capital, that we will discontinue once we are through with this share capital drive. In the meantime, we have suspended it so that we can actively inject a little more cash into Harambee in form of this share capital drive. Then there is Andrew Irungu. Andrew Irungu is asking, once I'm out of active employment, I will consider making partial refund of my huge investment on share. Or will you consider making refund of my share capital investment? Yes. Once again, the way I've said, we will allow members to be trading these shares, but through the Sacco. The informal way that we were doing it, that we are going to discontinue. So the answer is yes. What you will not be able to trade out or sell out is the statutory, that is the regulated, which at Harambee is the 30,000 that you are holding with you. Then there is Flora Fina. Flora Fina is asking, what happens with my share capital after retirement? This is a very good question. After retirement, your share capital continues generating for you income at Harambee. And like I've already said, we have over 2,000 members who retired but are continuing as members. We also have a good number who discontinued completely, but we are having their share capital here. And like an active member, every year they are also earning dividend. And even for those who are going for retirement, this would be probably the best idea. Invest now. When you go for retirement, you are guaranteed an income of at least 15% every year from Harambee. If you recall, I was giving you an example of one member who has already bought Harambee share capital to the tune of 10 million, over 10 million. End of last year, we paid him over 1.2 million. In fact, plus his other income from deposits, we paid him over 1.8 million. If you earn 1.8 million, you had already built, you had already taken children to school, you should just be going for tours all over. So as you age, we need to invest less in these troublesome investments like matatu, rental houses. Take an option like Harambee Sacco shares. Then there is Madam Perez Ngugi. I retired last year. I'm still in Harambee Sacco. Can I buy shares? The answer is yes. You are a member of Harambee Sacco and you are a shareholder at the moment. Come and buy shares, increase your shareholding, and we would like you to look at your investment, where we guarantee you every year at least 15%. Then there is Mr. Tom Ongaga. Tom Ongaga is saying, I am retiring in the next 2 years. Can I buy the shares? The answer is yes. You are most welcome, Tom. Increase your investment. In fact, increase your investment. When you retire, Harambee Sacco should work for you. Every year, we guarantee you, you'll be getting at least 15% of whatever you have invested. And like I explained, Anybody who invest in this share capital, either this year or next year, in 7 years' time, you will have recouped your investment. But your shares will still be remaining, and you'll be earning every year till the day you say, I'm transferring or I'm selling. Ken Waidaka, there is Mr. Ken Waidaka. Ken Waidaka is asking, what is the duration of the share capital drive? Mr. Waidaka, the share capital drive is in the year 2024 and 2025. It is a 2-year exercise, and we believe we should be able to mobilize 4 billion shillings. Mr. Rotich Shadrach, you mean share capital dividend is earning at 15% now? For year 2023, that is the share that we paid, the dividend that we paid in March, we paid 12%. And for shares, it is 12% straight line. Now, end of this year, 2024, yes, our budget and our commitment is 15%. So you invest in share capital, we are going to pay you 15% in March next year. Then there is Ken Waidaka. Ken is saying, in the eventuality of the member's death, how will the family transit in benefiting from the investment? Thank you very much, Mr. Waidaka. We normally ask members to leave us next of kin. So whoever you leave as the next of kin, the beneficiary, they assume your position and your rights, and they'll give direction what they want us to do with your investment. So, but once again, I want to take this opportunity to encourage us. Let's register our children, our grandchildren, and on such eventualities, we transfer these benefits to these children and to the grandchildren. There is Ida Nevin. Ida Nevin is asking, can you withdraw your shares? No, at the moment you cannot withdraw your shares, but you can sell your shares or you can transfer your shares. The Sacco is coming in. Immediately we are through with this shares drive, that is after 2025. We are going to bring in a system where we will queue. We'll put in a queue system all who wants to sell. And then the Sacco will stop selling new shares. So anybody who will be joining the Sacco, who will be interested in buying Sacco shares, it is the Sacco who will be selling on behalf of the members. So in that way, you are not completely stuck. The other advantage that is coming forth is, and I already mentioned, there's a bill in Parliament, and in this bill, we proposed, now not Harambee only, all Saccos, we proposed that Saccos be allowed to buy back their shares. This is already working in the Company Act. In Kenya, a company is allowed to buy back its own shares. We have also proposed in the bill that is before Parliament that Saccos be allowed to buy back its own shares. So we are confident, probably before we are through with this exercise of mobilizing share capital, the law will be in place, and if one is stuck, we will be in a position ourselves to buy back those shares. There is Mwema Mwangangi. Thank you very much. Mwema Mwangangi is asking, can I sell my shares? At the moment, yes. We want to discourage for this period that we are mobilizing our share capital. Keep those shares and the 15%, and over and above, Madam Mwema Mwangangi, or Mr., I want to encourage you, invest more. Then there is Mr. Andrew Koech. Mr. Andrew Koech is asking, is the share capital withdrawable in case of emergency? Unfortunately, no. Share capital is not withdrawable in cases of emergency. But like you hear me saying, we are going to create a platform in which members will be trading through the Sacco. So it's the Sacco which will be collecting or having a listing of members who want to exit or sell. And whenever there will be new members joining or any member buying a share capital, will not buy new share capital, but will buy the share capital of those who would like to sell. So you can't withdraw, but you can sell, or you can transfer. There's a very good question here. This is Mr. Tom Ongaga. Tom is asking, can I use part of my deposit to buy the shares? Mr. Ongaga, we would like to encourage us to inject new cash. If you heard me mention why we are going through this, we want to bring in more cash. And this more cash, as I explained, should be able to help us clear bank loan, comply, and at the same time, have more cash to do business with. So at the moment, we are not allowing you to use your deposit to buy your share capital. Then there is Mr. Ken Waithaka. Ken is asking, what is the lifespan of this 15% capping, guaranteed minimum? Hoping that there shall be an upward growth. I view, in view of the prevailing market competition from other Saccos. So Ken, first, the guarantee is for 5 years, and this is a commitment that we are not only making to the members, but we made also to the regulator. As I mentioned earlier, for us to do this, we are to get what we call a letter of no objection from the regulator. And from time to time, we will be making returns and informing the regulator of our commitment and our performance. So it is true, we made a commitment for 5 years, but we also expect we should be able to do better going forward. Then there is Anilov Cruz. Anilov Cruz is asking, what happens to the share drive 15% return when the specified time ceases? Cruz, by that time, first of all, why did we talk of 5 years? Of course, it's a span also going together with our strategic plan, which runs for 5 years. And then we wanted to give guarantee to any investor that once you've invested, by that time you will have scooped already 75% of whatever you have invested. So even in the subsequent, which are only 2 years, for you to scoop 100, you will still be on even a better guarantee, because if you listen to what I am presenting, the Sacco should be performing better going forward. And we've looked at the statistics from the year 2018 all the way to the year 2023. It is true, we've had tremendous improvement. And like you heard me mention, in terms of just income only, income that we generate, we have more than doubled. In 2018, total income for the year was only 2.65 billion. End of last year, that is 2023, we closed the year at 5.68 billion. And this year, we are looking forward to over 6 billion. And that should give you assurance that, yes, you will be getting more than 15% even after the guarantee period. Then there is Mr. Daniel Samuel Mutuma. He's saying, if one owns a plot and needs to convert it into shares, how can one go about it? Wow, this is a real question. So first, we thank you for having confidence in our share capital drive to the point you want to sell. And it makes sense, because why have these plots all over? Even myself, as the CEO of Harambee, I think I want to join you here, Mr. Mutuma. I am a victim of buying plots across the country and not developing them. So if I would have all that money at Harambee, Daniel, I want to agree with you, I would be better. I would be better off. Now, with regards to selling, we are going to contact you, and we get to appreciate where you are. If it is close to Nairobi, we have an investment wing. Through the investment, we will be circulating to the members. We get whoever is interested. Then there is Mr. John Oloch. If a member buys share capital a few days prior dividend declaration, that is 31st December, does he or she qualifies for the same dividend as the one who bought shares at the beginning of the year? The answer is yes. Share capital, unlike the deposits, we do not prorate. What is prorating? Prorating, which we do with the deposits, is we look at how long we did business with the money that you are making contribution. But share capital, it is covered by the Companies Act. The Cooperatives Act, the Sacco Act didn't come out clearly. So we are managing share capital with reference to the Companies Act. And in the Companies Act, any investment which was in the business by the close of the period, it qualifies for dividend at the same rate as what has been there throughout the year. So the answer is yes. Then there is Nicholas Toroitich. If I invested 500,000, how much do I get at the end of the year? And this one I just want to calculate it here. For Mr. Nicholas Toroitich, Nicholas is saying he's going to invest 500,000 at 15%. Nicholas, you are guaranteed you will earn 75,000 Kenya shillings. And we really welcome you. Come, and next year in such a function, you give testimony to the other members. So 500,000, Nicholas will earn 75,000. And once again, Nicholas, I was encouraging and saying, if every year you will be earning 75,000, in 7 years, you will already earn your 500,000, and the 500,000 will still be at the Sacco, still generating for you more income. Then there is Maneno Isa. Maneno Isa is asking, how does a member benefit from the share capital after retirement and has cleared with the Sacco? Thank you very much, Mr. Maneno. Once you retire, even if you took away your deposits or you take away your deposits, your share capital remains at Harambee, and just like an active member, you are entitled to dividend every year. And we encourage you, in case you had already retired, invest more, and we guarantee you every year you earn dividend at a rate of at least 15%. Then there is Mr. Bernard Mthara. Bernard Mthara is asking, when I take a loan, does the share capital count? No. We give loans against a multiplier of the deposits. We do not give loans against a multiplier of the share capital. Here, we want you to treat share capital as an investment which will give you a return every year in the form of dividend. Now, there is Mr. Stephen Maneno is asking, can I be able to withdraw share capital? Share capital you can sell, that's one. Then number two, you can transfer to another person of your choice. But as you have heard me mention, we are going to conduct this in 2024, 2025. After 2025, we are going to create a platform in which any member who wants to sell their share capital, we queue them. Then any member who wants to buy, or members who are joining, we don't sell to them new shares, but first of all, we sell to them, and it is the Sacco which will be coordinating this, we sell to them the shares that members have floated for sale. And also, you've heard me mention, we have a bill in Parliament where we proposed that Saccos be allowed to buy back their shares. If that goes through, then it will be very easy. We should be able to buy it from you straight away. Then there is then there is another question here from There is a question here from Tom. Tom, is it possible to increase my monthly contribution to a certain amount for a period of time, then later reduce it without any complication? Oh, this is Tom Odera. Yes, Mr. Odera, the answer is yes. You can increase your monthly contribution, and when you choose to reduce it, there is no complication. The only what will tie you down is if you're having a loan balance exceeding 1 million shillings, then we'll ask you to reduce it to not below 5,000 shillings. There is Mr. Robert Oyondi. Mr. Robert Oyondi is saying, why tell me to invest in share capital, but when I want to exit, you don't refund them back? You only say I sell, but in the low term, yet it is my money. Robert, it is not the choice of Harambee that we don't refund you your share capital. It is the regulatory framework. Currently, in the Sacco Act, the only two options given is one can transfer their shares or one can sell their shares. But once again, I want to encourage you to invest, and as you've heard me mention, once we are through with the share capital mobilization, that is end of 2025, we are going to create a platform in which it is the Sacco which will be coordinating the buying and selling of shares for those who want to exit. And I think I've explained exactly how we want to go about it. Then there is Dominic Macopio. Dominic says there was communication from SASRA indicating that taxation from Sacco members' shares will increase over the next few years. Is this meant to suppress members' real dividend earnings? I want to clarify, the communication that came from SASRA was to the attention of non-deposit taking SACCOs. What happened is from last year, that is from 2022, SASRA was given the mandate to onboard and supervise non-deposit taking SACCOs. What is a non-deposit taking SACCO? This is a SACCO without a FOSA. So Harambee is a deposit taking SACCO. The communication that you saw, or you came across, is not related to Harambee. Harambee is already compliant. We were already in the regime of being regulated all the way back from 2010. But the non-deposit taking SACCOs, they were onboarded in the year 2022. Then there is Wilfred Kosgei. Wilfred is saying, I'm watching from Takaba, Mandera West. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Wilfred. That's a very far distance. Now, as I near my close, I want you to continue subscribing on the button below there. Join Harambee Sacco Society YouTube. This is important so that we may be sharing with you future events, even our products, our services. So feel at home, feel at home. Also, if there are still more questions, go ahead. Even if we don't answer them in this webinar, we will individually look for you and we will answer you. Now, as I come to close, I want to encourage our members, invest in Harambee Sacco shares, just like you'd invest in any company, in any business venture. And here we are saying you're guaranteed 15% return for the next 5 years. Now, we must come to an end. And as we are coming to an end of this webinar, so many questions have not been answered, but we promise to continue answering them via our social media platform. So keep on following, keep on subscribing. We shall also continue doing webinars, so hang in there. We promise to deliver for the greater good of our great Sacco. Thank you, thank you, thank you, and may God bless you all.